Yes, I wasted 1,000 hours of my life playing this game, which is like a month and a half. And you know, I remember where this all started at, the tutorial. This is me with 0 hours, and before playing Valorant, I had seen gameplay of it before, but I wasn't able to play it because I had no PC. Even after I got a PC, I didn't play Valorant until my friend suggested it to me. And you know, I thought I would give it a shot, cause why not? This is where my addiction begins, by the way. Now we are here, achieving my first hour. Oh, and since I didn't record nor screenshot much of my early days, I'll be recreating most of it. For the first 50 hours, I simply played the game like a casual. Not thinking about anything, just having fun and doing what I wanted to do. Then I saw it, the competitive game mode. Now I know I wasn't ready for something like this. My stomach was turning just thinking about it. But I had seen plenty of YouTube videos, and I think I had the gist of it. At their heads, like this. My last seconds before queuing into competitive went something along the lines of, "Oh, I'm so excited, this is gonna be so much fun." It was not gonna be so much fun. To be honest, I wasn't even really a competitive person. I always thought, why would I spend hours and hours grinding and grinding for a PNG on a screen? Then 4 hours later, my rank was finally shown. Bronze. Which I thought wasn't that bad at the time. But being one rank behind the lowest rank in the game kinda hurts my ego. So instead, I went and played 12 more hours to now be 2 ranks away from the lowest. Okay, so obviously I don't want to be silver for the rest of my Valorant career. I wanted to be the #1 player out there. To achieve that, I'll have to start playing the game smarter, aim better, and well, get sweatier. All those things I had to train, except getting sweatier. So we had a lot of work to do. After around 78 hours of training later, I finally decided to try again and try to see what rank I would get. And after playing from Valorant's Isn't That Bad game to I Want to Delete This Game, I finally achieved silver. Nah, I'm just kidding. 64 more hours later, I got platinum. Meaning I was no longer below the average player and was a matter of fact better than the average player. Now I could have ended it here, saving me hours and hours of my life by stopping right there. But addiction isn't fair. I had to get #1, even if it takes me the rest of my life. Oh, and by the way, my rank was reset. You see, you probably noticed already, but Valorant has these things called episodes, which are like seasons in other games. There's also these things called acts, which are like parts between every season. So as of right now, I just passed episode 4, act 3, and I'm going to go into episode 5, act 1. After every episode is over, your rank gets reset. So you remember all that grinding did like 200 hours ago? Yeah, you want to see it again? I played this episode like crazy, with things happening in between, like them adding a whole new rank and a new map I had to learn as well. Luckily, I quickly adapted to these new things and started climbing the ranks like never before. So after 146 hours of grinding, sweat, and whatever's going on here, plus 72 hours of training as well, I have finally gotten the rank Valorant thinks I deserve. It was Ascendant. Ascendant 1 to be more specific. Now this was a big improvement for Platinum, putting me around towards the top 3% of the Valorant player base. But we have one problem, and that's the problem. I ain't #1 yet. And this is where things start to take me for a bit of a loop. It is now episode 5, act 2, and my rank remains the same. So you might be thinking how I was thinking. Just continue training and grinding like you always been. Unfortunately, it wasn't that easy anymore. That training I was doing was just me playing other game modes. To be honest, I am surprised I even got this far. Plus the opponents I was fighting now, unlike me, were actually using their brains. Also, Ascendant 1 was no longer top 3% anymore. It was now around the top 5%. Meaning that I wasn't getting any better anymore. I was getting worse. At first I didn't want to believe it. I was doing so well at the beginning, and I was getting so close to my goal. So is this where I fall off? I started to pour all my free time to this game. If I was really going to be #1, I had to keep going and try harder. But the results weren't showing. For the rest of the episode, I was stuck in Ascendant 1. I was furious. Like, I know I'm a good player. So how come I was playing so badly? And you know, I was thinking to myself, maybe this was just a stage. And after episode 6 arrived, I think I can rank up this episode. I want to try my very best. Then I realized they removed both of my favorite maps and brought back my least favorite. This has to be cyberbullying in some type of way. So because of Valorant disappearing the best maps out of existence, and plus the rank reset, I finished the first act in Diamond. But this was normal for something like this to happen during a rank reset. However, I still did not decide to play that much compared to usual, only playing around 80 hours that entire act. The next act came and I decided to go straight back into the grind, and I'm pretty sure I was losing my mind. At this point, I completely stopped trying to have fun with the game, only wanting to win and win big. So there I was, at it again, pouring even more of my time to the game than ever. I got my Ascendant back, but not much further than that. By this time, Ascendant 1 was no longer top 5%. It was now around the top 6%, which let me tell you, it did not help the only ego I had. I really wanted the next act to be where things started to change. When the next and the last act of the episode came, I spent hundreds and hundreds of hours playing the game. Sooner than later, I finally reached a new peak. Ascendant 2, which was just a tier above Ascendant 1, putting me around the top 4%. I was happy about this. I've been stuck in this loophole for what felt like so long, so just the slightest bit of sign of improvement made my day. But the key word is day, because by the time I thought I was getting somewhere, boom! A rank reset. Yeah, I completely forgot there was a rank reset. Guys, gonna be completely honest here, I was lost, and I knew I couldn't make it. It was episode 7, act 1, and I completely lost track of time. I realized that I just spent 1,000 hours in this video game, and during that time was free, I did a lot of thinking. I thought to myself, I'm gonna stop caring about this video game, and so I did. I no longer cared that I got diamond again. I didn't care that all my friends were now ahead of me. Sure, it took me 1,000 hours to realize, but being number 1 and ranked in this game means absolutely nothing to me. Which is kind of crazy to me, but better late than never. The only reason why I played this game in the first place was to have fun. So, I think I can finally accept that I don't need to be number 1. And now that I really think about it, maybe spending 1,000 hours for a PNG on my screen isn't worth it. And hey, at least I can say I didn't spend 1,000 hours on nothing. I got a video out of it. Obviously the main takeaway of this video is to never give up and enjoy what you do, but I also wanted to add the fact that sometimes your best look different some days. So even though you may be down here one day, don't worry, because one day you'll get to here.